Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's episode, I'm going to answer the question, should you sell in May and walk away? So whatever I say in this video is not financial advice. I'm just going to give you my opinion of what I'm going to do. Sell in May and go away. So this originated from traditional investors in the stock market, where they usually sell all their positions in May and then come back at the end of October for the last quarter of the year. The reason why they do this is because usually the stocks perform poorly during the summer. This also gets carried over to the crypto market, which I've seen a lot of people talking about it on Twitter. So I just opened up TradingView here and you can see this is Bitcoin. And as you can see, it has underperformed now over the last month and a half. So it did top out here on the 14th of March. And in my opinion, the whole sell in May and walk away was front run, in my opinion. And I think that's the reason why it topped out in the middle of March. So Bitcoin as it stands now is down 22%. Now, this is quite normal in a bull market. Usually in the previous cycles, we did get downtrends of 40 to 50%. Now, obviously, Bitcoin as a whole has matured and there's a lot more money involved. So as it grows, you're going to see smaller and smaller pullbacks. But my whole timeline on Twitter is freaking out. A lot of people are saying that the bull market is over. And in my opinion, I think this is completely wrong. The average sale price of the spot Bitcoin ETF in the United States is actually $57,000, and that's currently what we're sitting at right now. So I don't think personally that Larry Fink or let's say the likes of Fidelity would like to see their customers go underwater. So it'd be really interesting to see if they defend this level. Now, I know Bitcoin did break the 60K level, and I have it marked out in my chart here. And I did say if we did break that level, we are going to see much more downside. Now, how much more downside we're going to see, I'm not quite clear. So I'm not quite clear. So basically, if you were to sell now, you're already down 22%. So in my opinion, I don't think Bitcoin is going to go down much further. Now, it might drop down to the 53K level. So that's another like 7%. It could maybe drop a bit lower, between 7 or 10%. Now, I don't see it dropping much further than that level. And if we do, then all bets are off. You could easily say that the bull run is over. And obviously, I'm not saying that it can't sell off more, but as I was saying earlier, the average price of the spot Bitcoin ETF is 57,000. And that's currently where we are. That's currently where the price is at now at the moment. Now, we still could get a sell-off to the 53K level, but in my opinion, that is a big point of control, and I'm sure we definitely see a reaction there. Now, if you're finding it hard to sleep at night, and if you're fully invested in the market, then what you could do is wait for a bounce. Now, if the price does come down to the 53K level, that's something like this, and got a reaction here from this demand zone, I do see the price maybe coming back up to test the 67K level. Now, if you're finding it hard to sleep at night, this would be a very good level to take some profits, because this could essentially be a dead cat bounce. So basically what a dead cat bounce is, it would probably come down to this level, get a reaction, come back up, and eventually test these highs of 67 again before moving back down to the downside again. I would stay patient and wait for this dead cat bounce to play out. Now, I'm not saying that this dead cat bounce more likely will happen, because we don't always get, like, we're basically in a downtrend for the last like month and a half. So we are going to see some kind of bounce in the market. And once you see that bounce, it'll give you a second chance to maybe sell off some, maybe just to take away some risk. Now, there is also a high probability that we could get a reaction for this level and then shoot off to the upside. But what I'm just trying to say to you is now is probably not the best time to be selling your positions. And personally, I don't think the bull run is over. I think there's a lot of room to go, because obviously we've seen from previous cycles, usually there's a lot of chop after the Bitcoin halving. And we did see the Hong Kong ETF go live this week. And that was kind of a sell the news event, like when the ETF went live in the United States. So it is very common for BTC to chop sideways for a little bit after the Bitcoin halving. So if we just go back and look at previous May months, now it is common that you do initially see a sell-off in May. So if we just measure the downtrend in May of last year, so roughly 4%. And then in May of 2021, we did see Bitcoin retrace roughly just over 35%. But then in May of 2020, which was the May before the blow off top, just after the Bitcoin halving, we did see May give an increase of about 9%. So if you're following the 4-year cycles, you know that we are now currently just before this so-called bull run, and it's just after the Bitcoin halving. So if cycles repeat, there is a chance that we actually might get an increase in May of this year. So I really like this tweet from Nago. So basically he says here, contrarian take, green summer ahead, ? Ever heard of sell in May and go away? Traditionally, from the stock market, this advice suggests selling off in May and stepping back until summer's end due to historically weak performance during these months. I have recently seen many people utilizing this concept to validate their thesis about a big correction coming in the crypto market during the next few months. As price chop around, more are losing faith in a 2024 cycle peak, with doom and gloom becoming the mainstream sentiment. From fleeting euphoria to prevailing depression, the mood shifted quickly. It'll take ages to recover. Alts will bleed more in the summer. How can you stay bullish after a 40 to 50% drop? War, black swans. Summer won't be bullish for the entire crypto market. Lower before higher. Traditional 4-year cycles is in play. This is the consensus. Madness, in my opinion. That's why, being a contrarian, I'm getting more and more confident about my original prediction. Cycle peaked far sooner than most expect, with a sharp downturn before 24 ends, maybe even earlier. But brother, the scenario you're talking about never happened before. Also, based on historical patterns, it doesn't make sense. Remember, the crypto market is young, only about 15 years old. You're working with a tiny data set. While past trends offer insights, they're not ironclad predictions. What never happened before happens all the time. Save this quote. Also, historically, a Bitcoin all-time high pre-halving was impossible as well, no? But then that happened. If you know, you know. In crypto, you have to expect the unexpected, be prepared for every scenario. Anyway, next month will be crazy. 2024 is our year. So I really like this tweet from Nago, and it actually pretty much sums up my view all year of the crypto market. So if the majority of the people think that it's going to follow these 4-year cycles, and then once it broke out to all-time highs before the Bitcoin halving, this symbolizes that obviously this year is going to be completely different, and it's probably going to throw everyone by surprise. And what better way to do it is have a massive bull run in 2024, and then for it to sell off towards the end of 2024, and then probably go into a bear market. I still think that there is a possibility that this could play out. Now, obviously, I have to prepare for both scenarios. So even if it doesn't play out, I'm still happy to sit on my hands, and then maybe hopefully then the original 4-year cycles thesis plays out. Luckily enough for me, I have a steady income outside of cryptocurrency. So I don't exactly need the money right now. So I'm happy to just sit on my hands and wait to see what scenario comes my way. So again, if you're not following me on X, I'd advise you to just give me a follow there. It's a lot easier for me to make a tweet than to make one of these videos. So I will leave a link in the description below this video. So we did have some good news today. So we had the FOMC meeting. So Invest Answers did a nice recap. So we'll just go over it here quickly. Fed holds rates steady, slow quantitative tightening pace. The Federal Reserve announced it will maintain current interest rates and slow the pace of its balance sheet reduction. Code for printer coming in hard. So therefore, that what he's trying to imply from this tweet is they don't want to say quantitative easing anymore, because everyone knows that means that they're just turning on the printer. So he's implying that they will end up, without a doubt, having to print money again. And we all know that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies is a function of liquidity. So the more money that's pumped into the economy, that's just good for Bitcoin, and he thinks that the price will pump. Another thing I want to show you is the Bitcoin ETF inflows and outflows. So it's not exactly looking quite promising at the moment. As you can see here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 consecutive days of outflows, which this is obviously not good for the Bitcoin price. And again, today it was a huge outflow, and that's mostly coming from GBTC, Grayscale. So soon enough, Grayscale are going to have no Bitcoin left in their ETF. So this is just basically a black hole that's hopefully going to go away in the near future. We did see no inflows from BlackRock over the last 5 days, which is very, very strange. Now today, it does take them a while for them to update. So we don't know, did they have any inflows today? We'll probably know first thing in the morning. This is overall not looking good. And I really hope that this reverses soon and we start getting more inflows from the Bitcoin ETF. Another thing is I just want you to have a quick look at is the crypto fear and greed index. So over the last week, I thought this was broken. So as you can see here, like Bitcoin has been in a downtrend now for roughly about a month and a half. And you see here from the crypto fear and greed index, last week it was reading at 72. So that was actually in the greed. Yesterday it was 54, and today now it's coming right down to 43. So overall, this could probably go down a little bit more. So if we did see a quick wick down to 53K for Bitcoin, then I'm sure we would be in the fear. And it's always good to buy the fear and sell the greed. If we go back to Bitcoin as well too, and we'll just go back to the daily chart. A lot of these oscillators are starting to reset. As you can see here on the RSI, it is nearly at the oversold level. So maybe we just do need that extra push to bring it down to 53K level roughly. And I'm sure we'll see a lot of buyers coming back into the market. But overall, this is just my overall opinion on the market. Obviously, I'm just a guy on the internet, so don't take this as financial advice. I'm happy to just sit on my hands, wait and see. I personally don't think that this bull run is over. And sometimes it's just nice to just turn off the laptop, take a break, take a breather, take a few days and come back and reassess. So if you got value out of this one, please go down, hit the like, hit the subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.